The way to defeat these racist fools, low-life losers, isn't by scoring goals. No. It's by not having these games being played. Because that's one thing that I disagreed with what the commentator said. Is when Sterling scored, he was like, that's the way to get back at these racists. That's the way to get back at these troublemakers. No. Because that's the John Barnes crap. Because the whole point of that dumbass John Barnes photo that everyone credits, where John Barnes backhilled the banana skin. No, that's crap because that is the loser's way to react to it because like, nah, I'm just going to score goals and play really well and that's how I'm going to answer the racists. No, what I want is the Kevin Prince Boateng move where I'm going to bring the game into disrepute. I'm going to come off. I'm going to mess up the whole flow of the game. I'm going to bring down this institution and I'm going to give a speech in the UN. I'm going to be so troublesome, so problematic from everything. I'm going to mess up the fun for everybody. Okay? So, look, as I said, Bulgaria were trash, and I think that England were far superior. And I think when you look at how the goal that Sterling scored, Kane scored, these guys were just dribbling. If your boy Rashford, who's been struggling to get energies, can score a goal like that, you know that your opposition ain't great. So England were just way better than Bulgaria. But my whole thing is, what's going to happen now? So UEFA are going to fine Bulgaria, maybe play a game behind closed doors. Then you'll do a no to racism campaign. Then those losers kicked out will now say a statement. Then that piece of crap loser, John Barnes, is now going to go onto BBC Sky and just spout some trash and rubbish, I was going to say something, but maybe slightly controversial. But put it this way, and I think many black guys will know this. If you're a black guy and your wife or significant other is of a certain race, or rather, your wife is non-black, and you want to speak on racism, I think I'll pass. That's just a side note. But what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? Like I told you, this has been happening since I was back in school. This has been happening since the 90s, 2000s. We're now going into the third, fourth decade of this happening in football games. Hence why I don't want to see your... Because you know what that is? That whole thing of hashtag no to racism campaigns is like UEFA saying, oh, okay, let's just act like we're doing something. Let's act like if we care and go on. Because you don't care. If you really cared is, you know what? We're going to punish everybody. That's what you have to do. If you really cared about it, it's like, no, I know it's a small minority, but we're actually going to punish everybody. Because by punishing everybody, those people who are innocent, they will now put pressure on those idiots. Because the people who are innocent, they say, you clowns. You know that you're harming my enjoyment of the game. You know, I can't now go and watch my country play because of you. My country are having points deducted also because of you. Screw you. So for those guys who will continue do this racist chants and so forth, you will... Because unless you're stupid, because if your team isn't allowed to play, forget about being under closed doors, your points are deducted, your teams are not allowed to play, you get removed from qualifying and competitions. If that happens, then you're like, what's the point of even doing it? Because I've always said you can solve racism within football games. You can't solve racism in society. That can't happen. Racism will always exist in society. You can solve racism in football games. Because at the end of the day, you say to yourself that, is there any point in me doing this racist thing for this 90 minutes if I can see my team play and my team's getting points deducted? If you still keep on doing racism and your team gets points deducted, then my gosh, you need to be put in a mental asylum. You need to be put in Arkham Asylum with Arthur Fleck. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just one of those things where like the only thing that can happen are players leaving the pitch. Because if it's me, I leave the pitch. I ain't doing a John Barnes where I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna ignore it. I know I'm gonna score, and I'm just gonna do it because that's just how life is, and that's how I can get back to the races. No, I ain't John Barnes. I'm Mario Balotelli. I'm Kevin Prince Boateng. I'm Sully Montari. I'm gonna put up a force, and I'm gonna make a massive issue about it. I'm gonna make it a big issue. So it depends. Are you a John Barnes or are you a Prince Boateng? You have to choose who you are. But my thing about it is that these clowns at UEFA, they don't care. They've never cared. And just watch and wait at what they do. Because I mean, what's the saying? Madness is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You've been doing these fines behind closed doors, no to racism campaigns for how long now? But nothing has changed because these people don't care about your no to racism campaigns. These people, once you do again behind closed doors, they'll come back, wait a few months till people have forgotten about them, then they'll do it again. Isn't the whole point of it? You're trying to stop this from happening. So what you need to do are do different things and things that are much more extreme. But you don't want to do that because you don't care. Because the people at UEFA, deep down, they're like, what's the big... And that's the real thing. The white people at UEFA who run this stuff, deep down, in private, they're like, who cares? It's not a big deal. It's not real racism. Yeah, it's just a few monkey chants just to get the opposition, a bit off their game. It's not that big a deal. Let's just give them a damn fine. These black guys, man, they just talk too much, man. It ain't that big a deal, man. These guys just always want to complain. Just play the game. And that's the reality, man. But this black guy is gonna put up a fuss because I have zero tolerance for racism.